If you're looking for a really quick 30-minute meal that is so minimal effort, that is so delicious and high in protein and is nutritious and full of veggies, you have gotta try this sheet pan teriyaki tempeh bowl. It's gonna literally rock your world. Okay, so the ingredients list for this recipe is very, very simple. And we're gonna start out with tempeh. Now, if you're not sure what tempeh is a fermented probiotic soybean product, or you can call it a loaf. It's like a soybean loaf. This here is happy little bacterial cultures and mold, but it's good for you. It's healthy mold, it's happy mold, it's good for your tummy. Okay, now when it comes to the tempeh, usually the ones you'd buy in a store are kind of flatter and more like in the shape of a block of tofu. Mine is kind of thick and round, almost like a really big sausage. But that doesn't really matter. I don't know why I'm telling you this, but basically what I'm trying to say is chop your tempeh into like one-ish cubes, however you want to do that. So it's basically gonna look like that for me. And then transfer them to your sheet pan. Pretty much samesies for our veggies. About 1-inch chunks, 1-inch cubes. I just find that the bigger the chunks, the more, I don't know, hardy the texture, and I find that your veggies don't just turn to mush in the oven. Bell pepper. I wish I had a bigger one, to be honest, but this is all I have, so whatevs. Now that was so easy, wasn't it? That took me like, what, all of 3 minutes or less to chop all those veggies? Super simp. Okay, now we're gonna move on to another very simple step. We're gonna go make our sauce, our teriyaki sauce for this dish. So let's get to it. Okay, welcome to the stove. So we're gonna be whisking up a really quick teriyaki sauce right in a small saucepan. We're gonna just add the ingredients to the cold saute pan first. We're gonna add some coconut sugar, 1/4 cup. If you don't have coconut sugar and you use brown sugar, you can absolutely use that. We've got 3 cloves of minced ginger. We have a teaspoon of red chili flakes. This is optional if you aren't into things that are spicy. And 1/2 teaspoon of ground ginger. We've got 1/2 cup here of soy sauce. I'm using gluten-free soy sauce. Try to get low sodium if you can. Honestly, I don't think mine is, so high sodium for me it is. Next, we're gonna add 2 tablespoons of rice vinegar. If you don't have rice vinegar, but you have like apple cider vinegar, that is also totally fine. And for a really nice kind of nutty toasted flavor, we're gonna add 1 tablespoon of toasted sesame oil. And just to kind of thin things out and make it saucy, we're gonna add 1/2 cup of water. Now you can turn the heat on to about medium high, and we're just going to give everything a really good whisk, dissolve that coconut sugar, sort of try to emulsify the sesame oil that we added, and just combine all the ingredients really well. Now we're just going to bring this up to just a little simmer, and once it is pretty hot and bubbly, we're going to turn off the heat and we're going to add in 2 tablespoons of cornstarch mixed with water to kind of thicken up the sauce a bit. Oh, it smells so good. I love food, I love cooking, oh my gosh. Okay, now it's getting nice and bubbly, so I'm going to turn off the heat. I have 1/4 cup of water here in a little glass. I'm gonna add 2 tablespoons of cornstarch, and we're just gonna whiskey that up real quick just to dissolve it. Cold water, make sure you're using cold water for this. Then once it's dissolved, we're just going to pour that right into the sauce. We're gonna start stirring that right away to get it thickening up. And pretty much just keep stirring this up like you would if you're making gravy. You are gonna wanna drink this teriyaki sauce. Seriously, just, like, would you just look at that? Like, ooh, that is thick and lush. Thick and lush. Okay, we've got our sauce. It is super thick, creamy, and dreamy. Oh my gosh, teriyaki. And now all we're gonna do is pour it right over top of all of those veggies and the tempeh. Easy peasy, right? Okay, so now all you have to do is just give everything a good stir. Make sure all of those veggies and every piece of tempeh is coated in that luscious, sweet, spicy, tangy teriyaki sauce. This stuff is going to literally blow your mind. Okay, friends, so that's how it should look. Everything is glossy, shiny, coated in that beautiful teriyaki sauce. And now we're just gonna bring her on down to the stove. By the way, I have some rice cooking, and let's cook her up. Oven is set to 375 degrees Fahrenheit. And we're going to bake this on the top rack of your oven for about 25 to 30 minutes. Bye-bye. Now, just when you thought the fun was about to end, it's not. We got one more very delicious, simple condiment for this dish. And if you live in Canada, more specifically in BC, if you've ever been to the Cactus Club restaurant, if you have no idea what I'm talking about, that's okay, stay with me. They have an amazing bowl that I used to get all the time before I went vegan. It was like a teriyaki chicken rice bowl. Doesn't sound that exciting, but oh my God, if you know, you know how freaking good it is. Anyway, they have amazing spicy yogurt sauces for it, and I'm gonna try and recreate it for myself today because that stuff is the bomb, and it's gonna go really good with this teriyaki tempeh bowl. Only requires 4 easy, whoa, almost died. Requires only 4 simple ingredients. Sorry, I almost fell into my sink. Just ignore me. And yeah, let's just get into it, okay? Okay, when I'm talking simple, I mean simple, you guys. We've got some plant-based sour cream. Actually, this recipe generally would call for yogurt, and I'm calling it a yogurt sauce, but honestly, I find that plant-based yogurts and sour creams, like plain sour creams, are so similar in tastes and texture, so you can use either or. So we're gonna add about, I have like just under a cup, maybe 3/4-ish cup of plant-based sour cream. We're just gonna add that to a bowl, okay? I've got some ranch powder. Now this is homemade, and I do have a recipe for it. It's down below in the description, but if you wanna watch my YouTube short on how to make it, you can check that out. We're gonna add about 1.5 tablespoons of ranch powder. Now to make it spicy, we're gonna add some cayenne pepper, about 1/4 teaspoon, and some lemon juice. You don't need a ton, because this is already pretty tangy, but we're gonna add maybe about 1 teaspoon or so. Beautiful. Now all we gotta do is mix. Whiskey. Not like the alcohol whiskey. Although, hey, you never know, that could be delicious. Now, personally, this is a little bit too thick for me. I like my dressings to be a little more thin than this. It's a little too thick. I mean, it's perfect for other things, you know, if you want to like dip stuff in it, but we want to pour it over. So I'm gonna add about 1/4 cup of water just to thin it out a bit, and we'll see how that goes. I feel like that will be just fine. But also, you do you. If you like really thick sauces, then you just keep it the way you like it. Yummy. Okay, so it's been about 35 minutes, and I think it's done. Let's check her out. Ooh. Ooh, that's steamy. Ooh, can we just stop and appreciate this for a moment? Like, Now, of course, this would not be complete without our spicy yogurt dressing. So let's just have some fun with that and give her the old taste test. Let's start with some tempeh, shall we? That was seriously dynamite.